Hey, it was an old skull. What a lucky find for a pair of young adventurers.
It was easier to climb these walls back then. Not merely because we're older, but because the ruins are too. Of course. You said we needed to bury him. Do you remember where?
Well, one would think burying a human skull would stick in the mind, but somehow... no.
An old man was standing here as we passed.
Oh, yes. I remember his face as we flew by with a skull in our hands.
He looked as shocked as our grisly companion.
Nothing ever bothers an old Ottoman backgammon player.
This wasn't the right place for a funeral. We were looking for somewhere more appropriate.
Funny, nowadays you love putting men behind bars.
You're a fellow of infinite jest, aren't you? The water level was higher back then.
I remember swimming through this mire while trying not to breathe in the horrible odour.
This is where we buried it. It seems that with time, our friend has emerged once more. The skull is ancient. Its likeliest owner was one of the Knights Hospitaller who died during the siege of the fortress. I remember now, you said this skull was my father's.
A child's imagination is a powerful tool. You needed this. A burial process of your own. A ritual, so you could begin to grieve.
Here hung those lips that I have kissed, I know not how oft. I felt so alone back then, John. Uncertain. Abandoned by my father.
I know.
The skull wasn't his, though it may as well have been. In the earth, all of us look alike. Putting this man to rest, it did help.
I'm glad, Sherry.
I find myself rather tempted to keep it. If not for sentimental value, then it's archaeological merit.
Oriental rugs at a good price. Merhaba. It's a good day for a purchase. May your purchase bring you joy.
Don't pass by.
Don't miss out. On the best carpets on the island.
Bakın kim buradaymış.
A fresh newspaper? I wish you pleasant reading.
Selam. Merhaba, ne haber?
Do you know anything about this?
Brother, you're fortunate I know something about this.
An ancient silver grosso. It was first introduced under Doge Enrico Dandolo and quickly became a dominant coin of Mediterranean commerce. Mycroft returned with this coin from Venice. It was a long trip, but I don't remember any stories. Mycroft never talked much about any of his trips.
Hey. Merhaba.
Oriental rugs at a good price.
Too simple.
I'm coming for you.
Don't cry, you'll live. No?
The snuff's ready. Time to knock this guy out.
Take a rest, my friend.
Give him the pepper snuff. He's all yours now. Go for it.
I will end you.
I can overcome the brute now.
I'm coming. I'm coming for you. I'm coming.
Too simple.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Take a rest, my friend.
Dodge this!
The snuff's ready.
Don't cry, you'll live.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Dodge this!
He's all yours now. Go for it.
I couldn't miss the party. I'm coming.
The snuff's ready. Time to knock this guy out.
Get ready for some pain. Dodge this!
Take a rest, my friend.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Good heavens. You heard how they... Good heavens. You heard? Good heavens.
We found the treasure. You and I make a good team. Another treasure located. Let's celebrate.
Mr. Holmes, your brother sent me.
Oh, terrific. Let me guess. A mission of global importance, a nation forever in my debt? Let's get this over with.
I see the Holmes demeanor is genetic. Well then, this island is home to a seemingly innocuous astronomy professor named Jacob Haring. In high society, though, he's rather more infamous. He possesses a collection of scandalous materials that could compromise almost every aristocrat in Britain. And Haring recently got his hands on information that would expose one of our men. He agreed to return it, so long as he was paid a visit by a Holmes.
And Mycroft was too busy watching the crown jewels? Fine. I'll visit Mr. Haring the moment I can spare the time.
Just wait. The man is a loner, but a cunning one. This invitation implies he has something in mind for you, so be careful. And remember, I was never here.
No sign of a hint. The vase was broken recently, though. Perhaps the vandal left some tracks. Looks like our little vandal is a dog. Let's see where he went. Do you know anything about this?
A gentleman deserves an helping hand.
Kurush, or piaster. A large silver coin, now replaced by the gold lira. Suleiman II minted them, part of his attempt to revive the failing economy. This coin was gifted to me by Mycroft. He told me that he won it in a game of cards, but I can hardly see Mycroft playing, well, anything.
All fresh issues are sold out.
That was the third in a row, and all are in grand array. Of course, the...
an akçe, called asper by the British. One of the first Ottoman silver coins dating back to the 15th century. They minted them in Serbian despotate. It bears a tura, a unique calligraphic seal of a sultan. Mycroft received this coin as a gift from a prominent Turkish family in Cordona for some favour.
I'm coming for you.
Ow! Don't cry, you'll live.
I couldn't miss the party.
Take a rest, my friend.
The snuff's ready.
Don't
give him the pepper snuff.
I will end you. I couldn't miss the party. I couldn't miss the party.
No more crime for you until next.
I'm coming. I'll put you 6 feet under. I'm coming.
Too simple. Don't bother moving. You've lost.
I couldn't miss the party.
Take a rest, my friend.
The snuff's ready.
Tear it, son. No more crime for you until
Give him the pepper snuff.
Take a rest, my friend.
The snuff's ready.
I will end you. I'm coming.
Don't cry, you'll live.
Give him the pepper snuff. Time to...
Don't bother.
The snuff's ready.
Take a rest, my friend. No more crime for you until next month.
I thought we were against murder.
Coming for you.
Don't bother moving. You've lost.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Too simple.
The snuff's ready.
No more crime for you until next month. Take a rest, my friend.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Don't cry, you'll live.
The snuff's ready.
Don't bother moving. You've lost.
Overcome him, don't...
Good day.
I couldn't miss the party.
Too simple.
I'm coming.
You can overcome the brute now. Give him the pepper snuff.
I'm coming for you. Oh!
No more crime for you until next month. Don't cry, you'll live. Too simple.
The snuff's ready.
Ow! Take a rest.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Don't bother.
The snuff's ready.
I couldn't miss the party.
Too simple.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Take a rest, my
The snuff's ready.
Come, take a look at our clothes and accessories.
You'll never find such magnificent... My goods will brighten up your house. Enjoy your purchase. Garden statues, swings... Sorry, I have nothing to offer you at present. Masterpieces by local artists.
Come, take a look at the finest clothes for the finest citizens. Of course, think it over. Take your time. Mr. Sherlock Holmes, I presume.
Correct. With whom do I have the pleasure?
Emilio Estevaux. Happy to make your acquaintance. I am here on behalf of Mycroft, your brother. He's on his way to Cordona. In the meantime, he requests your assistance with a sensitive matter. My orders are to provide you with the details.
You have my attention, Mr. Estevaux.
Mark Ridley, the son of General Arthur Ridley, is being blackmailed. Suffice to say, the compromising material is of a delicate nature. The matter is of no small importance to the Crown, especially given the status quo on Cordona.
What about the status quo?
The Ottoman population holds a certain animosity towards the colonial rule. It's been this way since we took over the island. General Ridley made concessions with their leaders, but I'm afraid we are still teetering on the edge of open hostility.
What does Mycroft want me to do? Retrieve the blackmail material?
No, sir, nothing of the sort. Mark Ridley is meeting the blackmailer atop the old city bridge tower. You shall observe from a distance, then establish the blackmailer's identity. Do not attempt to arrest him. We'll handle it from there.
Saving the best for yourself? Fine.
There's a cafe just over the bridge that provides a good vantage point. Please report to me when you are done. I'll be waiting for you here, and remember, discretion is of the essence.
A manor all to ourselves. Can you believe it, Sherry? I have so many ideas. Well done, Sherry. The hall now looks much as it did in our youth. Brings back fond memories.
We used to take a shortcut down the banisters, much to everyone's annoyance.
Oh yeah, what fun. They had to fix these handrails several times. I wouldn't try it now, Sherry, tempting though it is. I can sense an incoming memory, Sherry. Do you?
was so frustrated to find only one bed in this room. Mycroft initially refused to bring another for you, but after a week-long dispute, he gave in.
What a stubborn man. How well do you think he would sleep without a bed?
Sir, what do you think you're doing?
Officer.
Oh, I know you. You're the clever chap that cracked that Palazzo del Luzzo case, eh?
Presuming there has not been another murder since, then yes, it is I. I'm here to investigate the accident. You don't mind if I examine the scene?
You're too late. Case closed. It was no accident. The rickshaw driver deliberately ran that poor woman over, and I'm taking him into custody.
Oh, well, if that's the case, then my examination of the scene can hardly interfere with your brilliant work, Officer
Huxley. Well, if you want to play detective, go ahead. But stay away from my business, all right?
The dress looks generally neat and tidy. Any staining must have been from the accident. This pendant looks like it may contain something. Let's see. An impact to the back of the head caused severe damage. Her death was probably instant.
Cordona's true horror revealed. Behold, the killer curb.
It takes two to tango. I'll find a use for it. Cleaning the houses of rich men by day and preserving England's secrets by night.
My friend, you know you're in trouble, right? But all this can go away for a small fee.
Damn crooked cops. Come on, concentrate, so we can stop him before he arrests the driver.
From the position of the body, we can deduce that Mycroft's agent walked down the street from the east. The rickshaw's tracks show that the vehicle was coming from the south. The rickshaw gained speed down the slope of the road and was going too fast to stop for a pedestrian.
But, Sherry, it would be impossible to miss a rickshaw speeding downhill. It was as fast as a racehorse.
Unless something distracts you. A sudden loud noise caught the agent's attention and they stepped into the road without looking. It was all an accident. John, no one is immune to chance. Such synchrony of events would be very difficult to contrive artificially.
No such thing as coincidence. I bet there's a killer mastermind behind this. Or a team of killers. Ooh, a secret global rickshaw conspiracy.
Always take care when walking beneath balconies. Upon examination of the scene, I have concluded that the smash of the flower pot distracted the woman. She didn't notice the oncoming rickshaw. After stepping into its path, she was knocked to the ground and died after hitting her head on the curb. It was most likely an accident.
Oh, that's just your imagination. The facts say otherwise.
Well, fact, there are no wheel tracks on the woman's body, so the rickshaw could not have run over her. Fact, you are blackmailing an innocent man.
Didn't I tell you to stay out of my business? You're lucky there's a crowd.
So the man can go free. Oh, thank you, Officer Huxley, for your excellent decision.
All right. The rickshaw puller can leave, but he better not show his face again. That goes twice for you, Mr. White Knight. Goodbye, sir.
I'm glad you didn't leave that poor chap alone.
The truth must be told, even if it damns as often as it saves. Today it spared a driver and denounced an officer. Tomorrow, perhaps the opposite.
We have a large assortment and pleasant prices. Come closer and try something on. You won't regret it.
One bed, one table, and one horrible scent of decay which someone tried to cover with perfume. A typical safe house for my cross spies. Being a secret agent isn't easy. The documents may have been stowed in here, but they're gone now. Whoever broke in clearly does not appreciate lockpicks. I must say, perfectly maintained. She took good care of it. A brand new model.
The espionage life where at any moment you could die. Of boredom.
A brute force intrusion rather than a stealthy sneak-in. The wax is still warm. Primitive, but efficient at breaking windows. Sloppy work. Unprofessional. Someone was in a hurry. Mycroft's documents were stolen. The thief entered through the broken window not long ago.
What are we waiting for? Let's search the backyard and track him down.
They were in such a hurry that they cut themselves. They injured themselves pretty seriously.
Look at the amount of blood. Does it mean they were waiting here for something?
The police patrol schedule sends officers along here regularly. Our thief wasn't waiting. They were hiding. The blood trail stops here. They must have finally bandaged the wound.
The thief must be somewhere around here. I can almost smell him.
Is this familiar to you?
Oh, sir, I'm afraid I don't know about that.
Piece of advice. Next time you try to steal from an agent of the United Kingdom, don't leave a trail of blood behind you. Try using a lockpick.
So it seems this is it. You found me. And now I have no choice. No choice at all. He told me to give you this letter.
So where are the documents, and who is he?
Huh. Piece of advice. When someone tells you to mind your own business, listen.
Oh, Sherry. What horror could he have been facing that suicide was the better option?
It's a grim augury indeed. There's something bigger brewing, John. We should inspect the poor man for any leads. He managed to bandage the wound properly. A strange act of self-preservation for a man on his way to suicide. Expensive clothes. Pretty worn out, though. A family insignia. Typical nobleman fashion. Old and made of silver. Not expensive, but might be an heirloom.
Take a photo of this poor bugger. Better to give Mycroft something rather than nothing.
I suppose it may help in understanding the situation. Could you help me?
Oh, I'm sorry, but that's beyond my knowledge.
Treasure maps from the governor. Find 8 and come back for more.
Is this familiar to you?
I'm sorry, but I've never heard of that.
Do you know anything about this?
You want answers, but I don't want to talk to you, rich boy. So what happens now?
Do you know anything about this?
Stay away from me and from people like me too, or you'll regret it.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Can't say I've ever heard about that.
Guests of Cordona, the treasures await you. Collect them all and return for more.
Can I ask you a question?
My dear fellow, you're talking to the right man. Alas, that's a terrible blow for the office. I'd better pass on your report immediately. Thank you for your service.
The accident doesn't look so accidental anymore, does it?
I think you might be right, John. I feel like someone is leading us by the nose. First time I've encountered such a devious mind.
I suspect not the last.
12 zucchini, first ever minted. This was part of Father's original collection. He won it at an auction in Barcelona the same year I was born. Antonio Manuel de Vilhena, the Grand Master of Malta, one of the first to mint his own coin. They were rather short-lived, unfortunately. Excuse me, just one question.
I don't think I'm rich enough to talk to you, sir.
Mr. Holmes, you came. Oh, how kind. Though now, of course, I realize it is because of my game, not the works on display.
It needn't be one or the other. Your man's disguise was easily debunked, Mr. Vogel, but I shall admit that you planted in me the seed of curiosity.
Ah, terrific! I had no doubt you'd put the pieces together. Let us call it an opening gambit before the real game begins.
So, this little game of yours, what's it about?
An enigma to solve. A locked area in the basement with no windows found brutally vandalized. I have no clue how it was possible.
And this locked area downstairs, what exactly was it?
The under gallery. It's always shut, and I'm the only one with the key.
Ah, so this is your private collection, not part of the gallery.
Oh, no. It's an exclusive exhibition of eccentric pieces. Only a select cadre of artists, investors, and collectors are admitted. Not everyone deserves to have their eyes opened.
What about this intrusion? What happened?
Last night, I was about to leave the gallery when I heard a noise downstairs. I went to the basement, but I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. It was admittedly a rudimentary inspection. It is not uncommon to get rats down there, so seeing nothing of note, I left and locked up the building. When I returned this morning, alas, I discovered that part of the exhibition had been torched, and there was no sign of the intruder. The mystery being, of course, that all the doors to the gallery were locked exactly as I left them.
And the door to the basement is the only entrance?
Correct. Tell me you're not intrigued.
Well, this matter is certainly within my wheelhouse.
This intrusion troubles me. Please take a look around if you're willing. The under gallery is through the door at the end.
I will see what I see.
You sure you don't like art, Sherry? Back home, we've got a taxidermist. He's gonna have a heart attack when he sees what I bring him.
Closed with a metal bolt. Footprints. Size 9.5. A true artist never shows an unfinished piece. Old, and hasn't been used for a long time. The left step's length is shorter than the right. It indicates that the walker was lame. Sodden and mould-ridden. One presumes deliberately. The parasites of creativity. Or just a reflection of the artist's recreational interests. Saturn devouring his son. Oh, a grim composition.
Unflinching in its ferocity, yet somehow beautiful.
Ugh, sheer vandalism. Only an ignorant person could do such a thing. A Malpalbut. Coal fingerprints. I think we're looking for a man with a coal moustache.
Sherry, how about some company in that dreary chamber of yours?
Leave my loneliness. I'm a handprint of the thing from another world. But it looks fresh, and its coal origin ruins the effect of the extra mundane. The intruder entered the basement through the coal chute. He used a magnet to open the hatch bolt. He accidentally pushed a shovel to the floor. Vogel heard the noise. At the sound of his approaching footsteps, the intruder hid inside the coffin. When Vogel entered the basement, he failed to notice anything strange and left without properly checking. The intruder waited until Vogel had left the caravanserai before burning the paintings in Wilde's room. But the vandalism was a cover for the theft. The pieces are not what I expected.
What do you think my collection is about?
Extravagant paintings have been left to rot in a basement. A commentary on decay and the crumbling of society, correct?
I don't know.
Well, that's absurd. Of course you know. It's your gallery.
There is no one answer, no singular truth, but many filtered through the subjective mind. That forgetting, embellishing, lying machine. Besides, what's wrong with a lie if it makes life more interesting?
What's wrong with a lie? It corrupts the ability of others to behave freely and rationally.
Men never act freely and rationally anyway. It matters not what is or isn't in the end. The only important thing is how you feel. and I simply want to feel and consume as much as I can. Don't you?
Feelings are simply one's animal ancestry trying to wrest back control of the brain. I try to avoid the distraction.
You try not to feel, even in a place like this? None of it moves you?
To be frank, I struggle to maintain even a whit of interest in art.
But, Mr. Holmes, it is joy incarnate, mankind's greatest achievement.
Mankind's highest achievement above all others is objective and rational thought.
I see, then, why you dislike art, for it means whatever you want it to.
Or, perhaps, Mr. Vogel, I was lying.
Aha.
Mr. Vogel, I have confirmed that the intruder was an average-sized, flexible Malpal smoker with a limp. As it happens, the vandalism was a cover. The true intent was to steal a painting without your knowledge. The fact is, one of the pieces from the Wild Room is not in the wreckage.
What? That is extraordinary.
This thief was familiar with the gallery, and he was sporting a limp. Do any of your clients or artists come to mind?
My, your attention to detail is remarkable, Mr. Holmes. I should introduce you to Bosch's works. Alas, I'm afraid I cannot suggest a culprit.
The intruder entered the basement through the coal chute. He used a magnet to open the latch and dislodged the shovel while doing so. That's the noise you heard yesterday. When you went downstairs to investigate, he hid in the coffin.
It seems I should have checked the space more thoroughly.
The fire was a clever attempt to hide a stolen painting, even if it didn't fool me. I found the remnants of an empty frame in the pile of ashes. The canvas had been removed. Do you know which paintings in the Wild Room may have interested a thief? Were any particularly expensive?
Those pieces belong to a well-known artist named Boniface Mercurio. They're controversial, but not of a notably high value.
There's something more, is there not? I can see it in your eyes.
Indeed. There is another intriguing angle. I recently received an anonymous offer for one of Mercurio's works. The sum was more than fair, and indeed could have saved Mercurio from his artistic poverty. But he declined it.
Was it a performative whim? Some artists lionize pain and hardship as if their work would be worse after a meal and a hot bath.
I cannot tell. But not only did he refuse the deal, he insisted on displaying the painting in the public space. I was hoping to change his mind, but artists are a special breed of stubborn.
What was depicted in the piece?
A bound woman, wrapped in robes, being penetrated by a red devil that stared at us, the viewer. The beast had numerous tails growing from his back, and a large crowd gathered around the pair, silently watching the orgiastic scene.
Okay, well, given the nature of the other works on display, it's hard to see why that one stood out. What could possibly be its value?
The evaluation of art is very subjective, Mr. Holmes. After all, art is everything. A poem, a bruise, the beads of sweat on your beloved skin. Even a masterfully solved crime.
I'm not sure I see the connection.
Regardless, the painting was one of a series called The Sabbath Night in Cordona. The works depict sex, violence, and other controversial acts that life, for better or worse, contains.
Ah, I see.
I'm not sure that you do, but that can wait for another time.
So where can I find Boniface Mercurio?
I know he lives somewhere in Old City, but couldn't be more specific. He's a prominent figure, so finding him shouldn't be a problem.
Well, I believe I have enough to begin. Thank you, Mr. Vogel. Your gallery certainly has unexpected depths.
I'm delighted to have been able to please a friend. In return, I expect you to come back with good news. Or at least with a good story.
Excuse me, young man. Where do you think you're going?
Greetings, Mum. I'm looking for the...
I don't care who you're looking for. You shall not pass. No visitors allowed.
I wish to buy a painting from Mr. Boniface Mercurio. Is he at...
Dearie, tell me, because old age has made me blind. Did someone write Information Bureau on my forehead? Because I'm not here to answer your questions. Entry is for residents only. If you aren't a resident, please leave, or I shall report you to the police. No visitors allowed.
Don't pass by. Let's pick something that suits you. A good... choice. A good choice indeed.
No visitors allowed.
Don't pass by. Welcome. Welcome. Don't pass by. Welcome. Welcome. Don't miss out on my unique clothes. Nice affordable clothes. Step right up. Nice affordable clothes. Step right up. Don't miss out on my unique clothes. Let's pick something that suits you. A good choice. A good choice indeed. Don't pass by. Welcome. Welcome.
Boniface, sweetie. Is that you? Ah, old age does terrible things to one's sight. I didn't recognize you at first.
How are you, Mum? I'm ashamed to admit that I've lost my key. Do you have a spare?
For heaven's sake! How many times will you lose that key of yours? Of course I have a spare. You artists all live in your own little world.
Please, accept my thanks.
I would rather accept your rent. You promised to pay me several weeks ago, and I'm still waiting.
I will pay you, I promise, very soon.
You'd better do, my dear. Or else I'll just change the lock. And I won't fall for those cow eyes.
Judging by post-mortem rigidity, the body lay here for 1 or 2 days. Soaked in blood. It seems as if the puddle of blood was here before the rags. The wound is precise. It was inflicted by a razor or a knife. A normal kitchen knife. Could be the murder weapon. Red skin, tails on the back, reminds me of Verda's description of the stolen painting. The chest has been searched. Aunt May whiskey, brandy bucks. Quite a collection he had here. Despite the overall tendency towards mess, you cannot sit with the drawer pulled out like this. Someone left it after searching. It appears the wine was truly awful. I wonder where he got that fancy camera. The blood has dried.
I've heard of this style of painting. It is called Expressionism. Don't look at me like that, Sherry. I will not touch that dirty floor.
The photograph was not pulled out in time. Such a waste of material. The photograph was not pulled out in time. Such a waste of material. Look at this, John. Isn't it our stolen demon? Mercurio was developing photographs when the intruder snuck in. Mercurio heard him coming. While the thief was searching the chest, the painter ran towards him with a bottle in his hand. He smashed it across the thief's head. The intruder had no choice but to defend himself, and the weapon of opportunity happened to be a kitchen knife. Mercurio stepped aside to grab the painting, but the wine-blinded thief attacked Mercurio's throat. When the thief came to his senses, he saw Mercurio bleeding on the floor. He grabbed the rags and tried to bandage him, but it was too late. Why did Mercurio attempt to snatch the painting in the middle of a fight? To strike the intruder? Not with his painting, it was too important to him. Red skin, tails on the back, reminds me of Werder's description of the stolen painting. The chest has been searched.
Do you know what makes a lady happy? Paid rent. Do you know what makes a lady happy? Paid rent.
I think I'll leave the exhibition in its current state for a while. I'll call it The Art of Vandalism. I think I'll leave the exhibition in its current state for a while. I'll call it The Art of Vandalism.
It's time for some chemical magic, John.
That doesn't look like the painting we need, Sherry.
As expected, but that doesn't mean it won't tell us anything. Let's put it on the easel where it belongs. I guess this is his most ordinary painting. Spot the two differences, John? If the intruder didn't take it, the skull should be somewhere here. Monster was actually a man. Poor girl. John, you ought to be thrilled. We are now hunting the devil himself.
What were you saying, Sherry? I was too busy sketching the scene, you know, crimes and such like, daily routine. Did you find something?
A photograph. It depicts a man in a red suit with tails sprouting from his back and multiple people in masks watching the scene. It all adds up. But the act of love, it wasn't given willingly, John. It was a violation. And the girl, she was with child.
Give that to me now. Did you recognize someone?
No. Although the victim is not from Cordona, she is African. Look at the ritual scars on her face.
Get that image out of your brain. You have to continue the investigation.
I must speak to the landlady. Perhaps she saw or heard something.
Sherry, you cannot tell her the truth about Mercurio. It will hurt her.
John, that's illogical. Sooner or later, she will come here and discover a corpse, and I still need to talk to her.
Just avoid mentioning corpse, all right? Stick to the character, tell her to call the police.
I'll take that into account.
And wait here. I've redrawn the people in the photograph. Now you can proceed with your investigation without those horrific details.
What's wrong, dear? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Can you tell me if anyone else has recently entered the flat?
Oh, you're talking about that limping man. I'm sorry I let him in. I was scared. And I thought maybe he would motivate you to find money so that you would pay your rent. No offense, dear.
Can you describe him?
Oh, so you weren't at home. I was so certain you didn't leave your flat that day. He was of average height, had a limp and a tattoo on his neck, and he was smoking Malpal cigarettes. My husband used to smoke those. They have a horrible smell I can recognize from a mile away.
Can I ask a favor?
Of course, dearie.
Please call the police and ask them to enter the flat, and don't look inside until they come up.
What? What trouble have you stepped in this time?
It really doesn't matter. Thank you, Mum.
Phew, Sherry, that was close. But you did everything... correctly. Now, take off your outfit. I can't let you walk around in a dead man's clothes.
I think I'll leave the exhibition in its current state for a while. I'll call it The Art of Vandalism.
Nice affordable clothes.
Come.
Step right up.
Decorate your house in Oriental style.
Is this familiar to you?
I am too tired for your questions.
Excuse me, just one question.
I don't know, my friend. Perhaps someone else knows?
Is this familiar to you?
Sounds familiar, but no. Ask someone else.
Do you know anything about this?
Sounds familiar, but no. Ask someone else.
Time to check your who, what and what, Sherry. Who are you asking? About what and dressed as what?
Can I ask you a question?
I don't know about that, but people here should know more.
May I ask for your assistance?
I don't know, my friend. Perhaps someone else knows?
This isn't working. You might need a different tack.
Help me, please.
You have a nerve to talk to me. Get back to work.
Merhaba.
Help me, please.
I don't know about that, but people here should know more.
Help me, please.
I'm afraid my mind has gone blank.
This isn't working. You might need a different tack.
Are you able to help me?
Oh, I've heard talk. Beasts!
Murderers!
They're completely livid.
First they come to our land, then they murder our people.
Drop them all into the sea!
Where do you think you're going? Speak with the chief.
Sir, this place is off limits to the public. Please state your business or leave, or I shall request that the police escort you out.
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm from City Hall. They sent me to oversee the situation.
No, you're not. I'm the supervisor of the camp, and I'm the one who's handling the current situation on behalf of City Hall. Ronald Harlow at your service. Now, sir, tell me who you really are, or you'll have to explain yourself to the police. I have full authority to request they detain you.
Very well, Mr. Harlow. I am a private investigator. I'm looking for a witness on my case. Sherlock Holmes is my real name, though.
A private investigator? Really? Even so, you're not authorized. I can't let you in, so please, step back.
What about the murder that this crowd keeps shouting about?
It's mere assumption. I assure you that the situation is under the police's control.
I know you want to deal with this in the right way. You are obviously a professional and a responsible person, but you clearly have never handled a situation like this before.
I am handling it, Mr. Holmes. Don't question my capability here.
And tell me how you do it. You can't even calm this gathered crowd, and as for the police, they're not quite managing it either, are they? You consider yourself a problem solver, but until today, you've been solving problems sitting at your desk in a dark corner of a city hall room. Here, you need a more practical approach.
What are you driving at, Mr. Holmes?
I can help you to handle the situation if you're truly interested in solving things quickly and quietly.
And how exactly would you manage that?
Simply tell the police that I'm with City Hall, and I'm permitted to investigate the scene. I'll work out the rest. But in return, I need your help finding my witness. She's a young refugee. She's with child, or was with child recently.
Look, there is indeed a dead body inside the camp. So even if the girl you are looking for is there, all the refugees are now being detained and interrogated by the police. They won't allow you to speak with her, and I can't do anything about that until the situation settles down.
So it's in our mutual interest to settle it.
Oh. I suppose that things are bad enough that I ought not shy away from help. All right, Mr. Holmes. I'll tell the police to allow you to come inside. Just tell me when you're ready.
Mr. Harlow, how did the refugees end up here exactly?
Oh, so you're not from around here yourself?
I've been away for some time, but I read the papers.
Yes, this whole story has been in the papers for almost a year now. They were smuggled to Cordona on a ship from Africa.
Smuggled? Then why didn't you deport them?
The smugglers managed to sneak them to shore and hide them inside an abandoned warehouse. When the police raided the warehouse and found the refugees there, the ship was already gone. We aren't even certain as to which ship it was. We have busy shipping routes with other colonies these days, you see.
So you decided to lock them up under a bridge?
There was no other option. We're still trying to work out what to do with them. I only hope we'll find a humane solution and not put them on a raft and float them out to sea.
Mr. Harlow, what exactly do you do here? What are your responsibilities?
What I do, and what I am responsible for, are two different realities, Mr. Holmes. On paper, I am in charge of the camp territory, security, provision, and the refugees in general. What I actually do most of the time is knock on every City Hall door trying to obtain some funding, or at least rations for the camp.
Are the police here on City Hall's behalf too?
They are, minus those who came here after the body was found. The governor won't let the refugees disperse into the island, so there's a significant police presence guarding the camp. Naturally, they answer directly to the police. I have some influence here, but I'm not their direct authority.
I'm ready to take a look at the scene.
All right. Go inside the camp and find Inspector Tewkesbury. He's the officer investigating the scene. Tell him I sent you. Say you're an independent expert from City Hall. He'll fill in the details for you.
I'll find my way with words. Thank you, Mr. Harlow.
So they keep these refugees under a bridge like proverbial trolls. No wonder the people outside are so disturbed.
Who the hell are you? How did you get in here?
Mr. Ronald Harlow let me in, sir. I'm Sherlock Holmes, a surveyor of refugee affairs with City Hall. You're Inspector Tewkesbury, I presume?
A surveyor? What does that even mean?
In short, I've been sent to conduct an extensive report on the incident for the Colonial Office, and to assess all the damage inflicted on state property.
Got it. Another paperworm sent to count money and get food for archive mold. Go on, look around, but don't make yourself too at home. As if I didn't have enough problems before you appeared.
Could you first tell me what happened here?
What happened? People from the bridge above the camp heard a woman screaming and saw a mass of refugees attacking a man. Clearly not a refugee. When the camp guards came by, the man was floating in the sewage canal with a knife in his chest. Bam. A murder. Big news for Cordona.
I'm sure. Thank you, Inspector. And none of the refugees were harmed?
One fellow was cut. He's lying over there near their kitchen. He's in a bad way.
You mentioned a woman screaming who attracted the bypassers on the bridge. Was she harmed?
No, she's all right, but perhaps the whole debacle started because of her. She started wailing and the refugees stood up for the girl.
And where is this young woman now?
Back there in the shacks, same as the rest of the refugees. She's been questioned by my men, but she's just some refugee girl. Can't understand much English.
Did you learn anything about the dead man?
The fellow looks like a thug. I've had dozens like him fished out of the sea over the past 20 years. Ever since these refugees arrived, there have been people on Cordona with bad blood in them. My best bet is that this thug had something against them too.
And no clue as to his identity?
He had some items on his body, but nothing to indicate who he was or where he was from.
I think I should catalogue his possessions in my records.
Go on. They're on the table near the body.
Do you have any suspects yet?
You're joking, right? I've got a whole camp full of suspects. And if you ask me, this bloke had it coming. Better bury him and forget about the whole thing. And now there's a crowd gathered at the camp, and my superiors say we must thoroughly interrogate the refugees. At least those who can understand any English.
Do you believe that your superiors wish to get rid of the refugees?
I think that both our superiors would rather keep the story quiet. Since that's an unaffordable luxury now, they're looking how to protect their public image. That's why I have to waste my time waiting for my people to turn every stone and befriend every refugee.
Here we go again. Number of hours on Cordona before stumbling upon another dead body? 0.
The blood sprayed off the blade after the strike. No hint of blood or impact. It might have been used as an improvised weapon. Oh, carnelian agate beads, a traditional African adornment. A man's footprint. A heavy boot with a worn-out sole. Police boots. Always happy to trample evidence. A furrow in the ground. A blood trail leading to or from the canal. Coal dust under the nails. I don't see much coal around here. A steel dirk, sharp. A common accessory among sailors and soldiers. I'd say the blade penetrated upward, however the wound is too messy to be certain. An interesting tattoo. Does it mean something? Heavy boots, with one sole far more worn than the other. This man was limping, John. A violent death. But this man, limping. Coal dust. I think we're onto something here, John.
If they find out about the passage, everything will go. If they find out about...
Did you catch that, Sherry? I didn't. Better listen more closely.
If they find out about the passage... Nobody will know anything if you keep your bloody mouth shut.
The coppers smell fishy here, Sherry. Sherry, just look at this. Living quarters in a sewer. What kind of a genius bureaucrat came up with this idea?
He is in shock, feverish and dehydrated. The cut is deep, potentially serious if not treated immediately.
Sherry, you know first aid. Surely you have a duty to help this man. You can't leave him to certain death.
Someone was dragged against their will.
The refugees have been detained and will not leave until all the circumstances are clarified.
That will kill, not save him. It won't do any good. Just washed. Better than nothing to bandage the wound. I'll use it to create a solution. I can use this to stop the infection from spreading. I've plated all the ingredients, now to prepare the first aid solution.
Thank you.
This should make you feel better, my friend. Now remain lying down and drink as much water as you can.
Well done, Sherry. At least he won't die from the infection.
Back off.
Malpal, soaked with salt water. £1,000. A fair sum, especially considering British currency isn't very common in Cordona. A simple leather sheath. Perfect for a dirk. Could you help me?
A solid question, sir, but I don't have the answer.
Help me, please.
A solid question, sir, but I don't have the answer.
Oh.
Are you able to help me?
Nothing
Call
I can
me
tell
when you
sir,
find the
but
answer.
Others might know more.
Do you know anything about this?
Nothing I can tell you, sir, but others might know more.
This isn't working. You might need a different tack.
Are you able to help me?
Nothing I can tell you, sir, but others might know more.
You still here? I've already told you all I've learned. Go and bother someone else with this, son. Go and bother someone else with this, son.
The guards at the sewers were speaking about taking refugees out of the camp. Do you know anything about this, Inspector?
Less than you do, obviously.
And this doesn't bother you as an officer of the law?
I can neither punish them nor put them on the right track, if that's what you're asking. Maybe your friends at City Hall could do something about it, but I seriously doubt that. To be honest, I'm sick and tired of being frowned on for my uniform. If those fine gentlemen you've eavesdropped on are in some shady business, that's on their heads. I'm busy. Don't you have papers to fill? City Hall lubberheads.
Clearly a left handprint here. A fresh crack, as if the crate was hit recently. Someone bled profusely here. You know what? I'd like to understand.
What?
How did our dead man end up inside the camp in the first place? Someone was dragged against their will. It's unlikely anyone could get in or out of the camp by water without alerting the police guards. No, it's too short for these walls or cliffs. Sealed shut. I doubt our man could get through these grates. A single Malpal butt. Roadman cigarettes. A brand highly regarded by law enforcement officers. So there wasn't any sophisticated infiltration plan. The good old police just let the man into the camp. Now we have everything we need to get the full picture of what happened at the camp.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate. You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
So, we have a thug who came to take a refugee woman with him. She resisted, but he dragged her by force. One of the refugees stood in his way, armed with a stick, yet he could do nothing against a cutthroat with a blade. The man didn't anticipate that the other refugees would intervene and stand against him. In the confusion, the woman managed to break free. The thug took fright and fled. He was stopped by the falling crates. He stumbled and fell, piercing his chest with his own blade. However, the wound didn't cause instant death. He managed to stand, but still bleeding, he lost his balance on the bridge and fell. Before all of this, the man had freely entered the camp through the main entrance. The police admitted him after they had a short smoke together.
You live by the sword, you die by the sword. In our man's case, it's the same sword.
Mr. Harlow, your refugees didn't murder anyone.
What? Pray tell me what you've learned.
All right, listen carefully. This might solve one problem for you, but will create a few more.
Oh, well, that's a great start.
The man came to the camp intending to kidnap one of your refugees, a woman. What he didn't expect was that the refugees would stand up to protect the woman. A brawl had broken out. In the chaos of it, the man stumbled over those crates and fell on his own blade.
How do you know he fell on his own blade?
The wound in his chest was inflicted from an unusual angle. It was not an offensive stab, shall we say. The refugees didn't touch him. And judging by the blood at the scene, the intruder managed to raise himself but was unable to walk very far. He ultimately fell into the canal.
But how did he sneak into the camp? Why didn't the police see him?
And this is where your new problems emerge, Mr. Harlow.
What do you mean?
You're not a dull-witted man. You know what I mean. There is no feasible way to get into the camp without the police guards knowing of it.
The pile of mess I had to sort out has just become bigger, but somehow that doesn't surprise me. Anyway, I thank you for your help, Mr. Holmes. I'll take it from here. Meanwhile, I'll make sure the police aren't detaining the refugees any longer. You can go back in and look for your witness.
You think one small clock can make any difference in this place?
Who knows, John?
I owe you a lot,
Just
Mr.
one
Holmes.
ill-fitting cog could make the whole machine crumble. May I ask for your assistance?
They often take us from the camp to work. Most don't mind, though. It's the only way to get a glimpse of freedom.
So there's a smuggling ring in the camp. This wasn't the first time that someone freely entered the camp to take a refugee out.
At least it was certainly his last time. My gut tells me that we'll learn more about this ring when we find out where the thug came from.
Do you know anything about this?
Sorry. We don't see much here.
You're the one who tended to our man's wounds. I thank you greatly. The police didn't allow us to help him.
The police will leave you alone now. I've proven to them that the man who came into the camp died due to his own foolishness.
Thank you for standing up for us. But nobody would help us without a reason. You're here because you want something.
Yes, I do. I need to speak with the girl drawn here.
The dead man came for her too. He wanted to take the girl away, but we won't allow her to be hurt again. What do you want from Nayla?
Nayla. She was hurt some time ago. I'm here to find the people who did this and bring them to justice. And to find them, I need Nayla's help. Will you let me speak to her?
Justice. There's no justice on this land. But you helped us, so maybe your words are not empty. You can speak to Nayla, if she wants it. But I will be watching you.
Hello, Nayla? My name is Sherlock. I know someone hurt you. I am here to help. I'm trying to find the people involved and bring them to justice. Please. There is a photograph, and I'm sorry, it is terrible, but I simply must ask. Where did this happen? What can you tell me about these people? Christ, Sherlock. Nayla, I'm sorry. I'm not very good at this.
You come here for me, but you are rude and cruel and condescending. A cross. The man had this cross. Now go away. Leave us be. I do not need another white man's help.
Oh, glad that wasn't me.
Not my best work, John, by a long shot. Nayla doesn't want us meddling. I'm starting to wonder what this all achieves.
But she helped you anyway. Now we know that maniac's face and the cross he wore, we can still catch him.
At least some of your kind have a heart. Thank you again.
Excuse me, just one question.
Sorry, we don't see much here.
You still here? Go and bother someone else with this, son.
The intruder has a most peculiar tattoo on his neck, 2 lines and a point. Do you know anything about it?
You really want to know, kid? Why? You want to play a policeman or something?
I'm sure you have it in your records, so it won't hurt if I have it in mine.
In my records, it's just a tattoo, as it should be in yours. Ah, to hell with you. Suit yourself as to what you're going to do with it. Off the record, though, such tattoos are often connected to a man named Mr. Niccolo Bernadotti.
Bernadotti, you say?
A respectable businessman in Scaladio. His company imports goods and wines, and smuggles everything that can be smuggled between the colonies and the mainland. His people can be identified by an obscure tattoo, just like the one over there our friend has. But these are all merely rumors, you see. If Mr. Bernadotti was a criminal, he'd be in prison now. Or hanged, right?
I owe you a lot, Mr. Holmes.
Is this... I just need to collect my thoughts, Sherry.